You go tonight?
Yeah.
So is he staying for council? Or?
Yeah, my man.
(6 o'clock) and December 9, 2019. My birthday was yesterday. Can you believe I'm over 70, younger than Bob Watkins, but, you know. and welcome everyone here on the work session. And thank you very much for council to be here, staff, city attorney, and city secretary, and everybody. At this time, the first item will be the visitor and citizen forum. We got one, Mr. Gary Losada. Would you please come in, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Last time I was here was just before Thanksgiving, and the candy was flowing freely. I don't see any this evening. You're holding out on us again. Anyway, since that time, a lot of things have transpired. Tonight you have an agenda item for a resolution appointing a representative for you on the TAD Board of Directors. I'm here again like I was last time, though I won't spend all the time giving you my background and everything. I'm asking for your support. I will do whatever I can to represent you, and just want you to know I'm interested. I wouldn't be here 2 times if I wasn't, and I have spoken all over the Metroplex, and I think I have a good chance of getting on the board. So I hope I can do you right, and I hope that you will feel free to contact me if you have issues that. Now, let me clarify something, because it's been stated to me by several city councils. I cannot get involved at all with adjusting values. That is not part of the charter for the TAD Board of Directors. If I were to do that, I'd get in big trouble with the state, so I can't do that. But my primary goal for running is to try to change the culture at TAD so it's more servant-oriented and more responsive to the needs of the community, and in particular, all the councils and smaller entities and school districts that don't have the clout of 500 and something votes. So I do ask for your 17 votes. I hope that you would consider me worthy of that. And I don't know if I can open up to questions or not. It is an agenda item, but I'm speaking under Citizens Forum, so I don't know if that's okay or not to ask questions. It is? Okay.
Okay. No, but let us say this. I think our council, I have a feeling that they will support you because you're the only one among the 20-some candidates.
Yes.
To take your time coming here to explain your situation, and you try to candidate for yourself. That really, thank you so much for doing that, and I hope council consider he's the only one here, so we should vote for him, right? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I know you have to go to.
I have another council meeting to speak at, and another one after that.
Yes.
So I will be hopefully not getting arrested for speeding. But thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.
Appreciate that. Is anyone else would like to speak in front of council? Okay. Welcome here, sir. What's your name?
Bob Watkins. I think
Okay.
I already told you happy birthday, didn't I?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got boots older than you. This is going to be new and different. It's going to be kind of new and a little different. I decided that y'all are not going to move it to the end of the night like I thought that the visitors and citizens should be, but I believe it would be beneficial for now that the law says we can speak to the items as they come up. But I still think it would be beneficial if you were to move the visitors and citizens to the beginning of the council meeting, like at 7 o'clock, because there's all kinds of people that are at work and they can't get here they can't get here at 6 o'clock to get up and talk. So I'd like for y'all to consider moving the visitors and citizens to the 7 o'clock hours to the 6 o'clock hour. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Anyone else would like to speak? Ms. Stevenson, you say?
Sure, I'll say something.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, Steve Van Zant, Haltom City. I'm going to tell you what I told Bob a while ago. There's the old Indian saying that you can cut the top of a blanket off and sew it onto the bottom of the blanket, and everybody thinks that you've changed something. So I agree with him that it's easier for people to get here at 7, but by the same token, you're extending the meeting if you do that. So that's my thoughts. That's all.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Anyone else? If not this time, I will close the citizen forum. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't. You didn't hit the button. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I would like to address your recommendation, Bob. Mr. Watkins. You've not been ignored, as it might appear, but we have discussed this, and in my opinion, if something is important enough for me to address at a council meeting, I will make sure I can get there, whether, regardless of my work hours. And so, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that it might make it easier for more people to get there, but based on what Mr. Van Zant addressed as well, it would extend the length of the meeting possibly as well. So, but we are hearing what you are recommending. I just want to address that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Saul. But you remember before we have at the bottom of the meeting, and sometimes we have the meeting like over midnight, and a lot of citizens sitting here, senior, young, doesn't matter what age, sitting there waiting. That's why the reason we move in the front, but just like she said, in the future, if we feel like important for the meeting move, down to the bottom, then we will do that. But at this time, everybody decide to stay the same. So, okay, you want to say something? Go ahead, sir.
I think in the last 25 years, I probably missed a half dozen meetings. I'm not even sure I've missed that many. And there's only been certain times that the meetings have had to last that long because of the Fathom deal, of course, the rental ordinance. It was unbelievable how big a fit they threw over the fact that they tried to put a veterinarian's building over here on Denton Highway. But there are people that have jobs they couldn't take off unless their family members are dead, not sick. They got to be dead. And I don't believe that normally. I believe I can count on one hand the times that there's just been a big crowd of people, and well managed, which our former mayor didn't manage very well. You've cut the length of time down that somebody can talk, and so I really believe that it would be give a few more people time to talk, because I can't imagine it lasting 15 minutes. I really can't. And if it does, well, there are going to be a lot of people here and there, but that just doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen often enough to make any difference. But there's a lot of people. It's been a long time since I had one of those jobs, but there's jobs you don't just say goodbye, I'm going to go to a council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Go ahead, ma'am. Please state your name, ma'am.
I'm Kelly Roberts, and I live in Haltom City, and I don't remember when it was at the end, but I do like that idea. And if I understand what you're saying, why it would run late and things, but another thing to consider would be to put it at the beginning at 7 o'clock and just give people that little bit more time. Having it this way means we have to run straight here and we don't have time for dinner. And then we have to wait till after the end of the council because there's not time in between. If there's a lot of dead time in between the time that people talk and that you come back in, and people are just waiting. So if you went right to 7, or if you went at the end, you wouldn't have that dead time.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Anyone else? If not, at this time, we will close the visitor forum at 6:11, and we don't have the executive session, so we can stop the meeting work session at this time. Come back at 7. Thank you, everyone.
You want to talk about this?
Oh, you want to
sale?
go?
We can do that.
Executive session? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
executive session.
Yeah, let's do executive session, Mayor.
Okay. At this time, we will move into the executive session based on the Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code on Section 551.071 and 551.072 at 6:12. Thank you. See you at 7. Today, December 8th, correct, 9, 2019 at 7 p.m. This will be a regular session. My name is Antrong. I'm the mayor of Haltom City. I call this meeting in order. At first, I would like to invite Council Member Marianne Hillier for invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please, everybody stand.
Dear Lord, we come to you today asking that your all-powerful hand guide us in our deliberations and decisions. We thank you for your never-ending love. Watch over and care for our service personnel and our citizens according to your will. We praise you every moment of our earthly lives. In your blessed name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. At first, I would like to say thank you to everyone attend the meeting here or at home watch on television. I don't know if television are on today. By the way, thank you all the council and the staff and the people in the chamber. Welcome here. I wish everybody come in here often. So, this our meeting, not a city council meeting. So please don't feel like a stranger. Beginning of the next item, I would like to take a moment for our elect officials. Say, wish you on a holiday, Mr. Marianne Hillier. You first, ma'am.
Thank you. This Christmas is a very special time for me, and I hope that it is for you too. Have the best Christmas you've ever had and love those around you, because you'll find so many of them love you.
Thank you. Next.
I just want to wish everybody in Haltom City and around the world just have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, Miss Mayor Pro Tem.
As everyone is saying, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's always a privilege to be within our community and be with the citizens and doing the things that's important for our community. So I wish everyone a very blessed, safe, and healthy New Year.
Miss Wee.
Thanks, Mayor. So everybody, Merry Christmas, and let's remember also that we are Christmas time is a time to be thankful for what you have. It's not about gifts. It's about, for me, it's about my birth of my Savior. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Susan Saul.
I just want to tell everybody, be thankful for your families and enjoy your families this Christmas season, and wishing you health and happiness for the new year.
Thank you. Miss Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. And yes, just Merry Christmas to all the citizens, everyone. And please, if you're traveling, be careful, be safe, and return home safely. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Van Zandt.
Thank you. I just want to say that we decorated our homes with lights. There's a competition for that, but I hope we'll have a competition to shine our lights, be gracious and loving to one another as well. And I would like to ask that, not just for Christmas, but for the new year, let's remember to pray for our troops and their families that are missing someone this year around their table, and be more grateful for those around yours. We're grateful for Haltom City.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Camacho, City Secretary, to wish the people a good.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to wish everybody Feliz Navidad and go Cowboys.
Oh, my. Our city attorney.
Mr. Camacho, not all wishes come true, so you're more of an optimist than I am. Merry Christmas to everybody in Haltom City. I love being here, love being with the citizens. This is a great place, and I hope everybody has a wonderful time this holiday season.
Thank you, sir. And now, Mr. Keelan, maybe This is his last year as the city manager, and I want he says something to the citizen of Haltom City. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I got some in next year. This is my last year. I got another month.
No, you don't have next year Christmas.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of echo what Miss Van Zant said. I always, I was a police officer for 28 and a half years, so I always think of the folks that have to work during the holidays, the troops and the first responders and our public works folks. And so we've always got somebody out there working, no matter when it is, what kind of holiday, weekend or not. So just think about them, keep them in your prayers, and let's hope they stay safe. But happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. Now my turn. I wish all of you families a safe and happy holiday, include Christmas and Happy New Year's. By the way, I wish all of you have good health. But if you have a winning ticket like $340 million, please do so, and you can build a city hall with your name in there. But okay, and happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, all of you. Thank you. What's wrong? Okay, the next one right now, announcement and events by City Secretary Mr. Camacho.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Meeting announcements for December 9th, 2019 in the Public Library, the Storytime, Tinker Tuesdays, Imagination Station, and teen programs and other library activities are all listed on the library's website for the date and times. Some of these have changed through the holiday week, so please check the website. And during the month of December, the Friends of the Library will be having a cookbook sale where they'll be selling cookbooks at half price. There will be a job fair Friday, December 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Goodwill Industries and the library have partnered to bring local businesses to talk to citizens and people applying for jobs. So bring your resume, 2 forms of identification, and dress to impress. The Teen Escape for the room is on Friday, December 13th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. They're going to help Buddy the Elf save Christmas. It is free, but registration is required, so visit the library's website or come in or call 817-222-7786. And if you need a space to wrap some presents, please come by Wednesday, December 18th from 4 to 8 p.m. They'll have hot chocolate at the library, cookies, and Christmas music to get you in the mood. Bring your gifts, paper, and ribbons to be wrapped, and they'll have a limited supply of wrapping paper and ribbons on hand. The David E. Smith Eagle Choir will be singing holiday songs on Wednesday, December 18th at 10:30 a.m. And there's also a holiday pajama story time that's going to be held Thursday, December 19th at 6:30 p.m. So bring the entire family for a Jingle and Jolly. Special performance by Brett Roberts and Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there. And don't forget to bring your camera. And the children can wear the holidays pajamas, and mom and dad too. And the Parks and Recreation, the rec center will be closed Friday, December 13th. And they apologize for any inconvenience for the citizens. Keep Haltom City Beautiful will be hosting the popular neighborhood decorating contest and wants to make sure you have your decorations out and have your lights on. Judging is being held now and will be through December 13th, and the winners will be announced on December 16th and recognized at a city council meeting in January. The categories include best use of lights, best theme, and judge's choice. 18 individual winners will be awarded a yard sign, and Keep Haltom City Beautiful will also select the best decorated business in Haltom City. If you want to make sure they don't miss your house, please be sure and register online through the city website. The Haltom City office and facilities will be closed on Tuesday, December 24th, and Wednesday, December 25th, and also on Wednesday, January 1st, 2020, in observance of the Christmas and New Year's holidays. And that's our announcements.
Thank you, sir. And the next one will be proclamation. And at this time, I would like to say this. As the first Vietnamese American mayor in Haltom City, I want to make sure that the city is diversity city. Welcome any group coming here. But we welcome a good citizen, not a criminal. And for many years, Mr. Tina Doe, director of the KRVA Radio Saigon Dallas, have been helping the citizen in DFW your area, and especially in Haltom City. I am the radio host for this channel over almost 17 years. I try to educate the people. Don't be afraid of the city government or federal government because we are not in Vietnam or in Mexico. We have right, but if you don't speak up, you don't join us, then you don't know your right. Not only the Vietnamese radio station, I urge the Hispanics too. Do something, educate the Hispanic people how important to register your name for vote on each election. Because without your voice, then we don't have the good city government system. But if you don't vote, then you have no right. You don't come here to complain because you are not a voter. I respect all the voters. Doesn't matter you vote for me or my opponent, as long as you vote. I appreciate that. At this moment, I would like to give a proclamation for Mrs. Tina Doe to honor the service of her and the radio KRVA Radio Saigon Dallas. Ms. Tina Doe. Our council and our staff would like to present to you, whereas it is a joyful occasion when Haltom City had the opportunity to honor a business for an outstanding service of Haltom City citizen, and whereas the Vietnamese radio began in this area over 28 years ago with several different names: Vietnamese Broadcasting Network, Vietnamese Radio Network, 890 AM, and now 1600 AM Radio Saigon. And whereas Ms. Tina Doe and KRVA Radio Saigon have now put forth this commitment to the community welfare of Haltom City Vietnamese citizens by providing news, economic interest programs, political venues, and community events in Vietnamese to an estimate 50,000 plus listeners in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And whereas Haltom City is a community that has embraced the Asian American culture and is extremely grateful for Mr. Doe and the KRVA Radio Saigon for providing such a vital service for the Vietnamese citizen in Haltom City. Now, therefore, I, An Minh Truong, Mayor of the City of Haltom City, Texas, and on behalf of the Haltom City Council and all of the citizens, wish to proclaim our thanks to Mr. Tina Doe and KRVA Radio Saigon for their commitment and service to the Haltom City Vietnamese community. In witness at this day, my name An Truong, I signed it, and thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
She has some words to say.
Again, my name is Tina Doe, as he introduced, and I've been knowing him for a long, long time. I forgot how many years, but like more than 17 years. I'm very grateful that he been help us, the community, for on such thing. Not too afraid of the policeman, not afraid to anybody. So we're really grateful of his work. And today I'm very honored to receive a proclamation from the mayor. Thank you very much, Mayor, and thank you on the council. And I wish you a best Christmas ever and ever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tinado and Rayo Saigon. By the way, the next item will be employee recognition and Chief Cody Phillips. Go ahead, sir.
Evening, Mayor, City Council. This is a little misinterpreted, I guess. It's not going to be employee recognition. We're going to recognize some individuals that are within our community that helps supplement some of our canine supplies and training that we occur. I want to first begin by it's extremely important to have the community and members of the community that are business owners that help supply us with additional services for our canine program. One of those individuals just passed away last week, Von Husbands. I want to give a shout out to him and all the time and dedication that he not only did to the Haltom City Canine Unit, but to pets around the community and is also other police departments. One of his donations actually saved North Richland Hills police dog's life when it got shot earlier this year. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring up some individuals and they'll explain what the role is. The first one is Sergeant Russell. He's over our canine program currently right now. He supervises the canine. His dog currently is going to be retired at the end of the year. Canine Philo's done a very well job for us and the citizens of Haltom City. Robert Parsons is an officer with the canine program. As you can see, he's got his little partner with him. He's not so little anymore. That's Canine Harkos. Behind Officer Parsons is Captain Shiflett. He's the administrative captain oversees a complete canine program. And then our new handler is the little short guy with no hair. That's Ray Browder. His dog is scheduled to be here December 19th. And then Sergeant Russell is going to introduce the vet and then an organization that helped fund a vest for the new police dog that we're getting, and he'll explain that to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Mr. Mayor, City Manager, and citizens. It's with great honor we get the opportunity to recognize two individuals who have greatly supported the Haltom City Police Canine Unit. Cannot express enough gratitude and show enough appreciation what these individuals have done for our department and for our dogs. I'd like to start off with Dr. Thompson this evening. He's our veterinarian. We met by just fate, kind of to say, by taking my dog in one day when I was looking for a vet, and come to find out he has a long history of helping service canines, including with the Oklahoma State Highway Patrol, where he ultimately adopted one of the canine units from that agency. Through that opportunity, we have become friends, and we've been fortunate enough for him to not only provide great medical care for our dogs, he's become personal friends and given us his personal phone number where he's available 24 hours a day to our program. So as you can imagine, with veterinarian care issues, maybe your dog accidentally eats something that you didn't intend for him to, and you're calling him with the freaking out like your baby just did something. That might have happened. But he's been there for us. And beyond the care of our dogs, he's actually donated to our program on multiple occasions. One of the first things he donated to us was our Narcan use. And as you guys know about the opiate addiction here in America, the fentanyl and other drugs along that nature can be fatal to these dogs. He's actually purchased and provided Narcan for us to utilize for the dogs. He also provided oxygen masks that are dog specific that we carry in each of our patrol units. So again, as you can imagine, if our dogs need that type of medical care, and we're fortunate enough in our fire department to have medics that have special training to help our service dogs, and so they can come and utilize this equipment. And lastly, the thing he donated to us is the vest that you see Canine Harkos wearing. These vests are very expensive, and we're very fortunate to have such an item to protect our dogs. These dogs are here to save human life. They're here to protect the officers that are serving and to help keep our community safe by tracking bad guys and being put into these dangerous situations. So as you can imagine, as a handler, these dogs become very personal to us, and they're no different in our family, our friends, and we want to make sure they stay safe also. Previously, earlier this year, me and Officer Parsons met with Dr. Thompson, and we presented him a plaque of appreciation at his place of business. Tonight, along with the public recognition, we'd like to present you a challenge coin for everything you've done for us. These are Chief Phillips' first series of challenge coins with the Haltom City Police Department. They're here to represent our appreciation and hopefully that you can cherish forever, sir. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you guys. You're very welcome. Thank you. You bet.
The next person we'd like to, introduce and recognize this evening, again, the way we do our job and we go to and you make friends is kind of unique. I got asked to go to a church and to present one of our active shooter programs at this church, and come to find out, Mr. Brant Babb is the founder of Beyond a Hero Foundation. Through our connections, as fate had it once again, he approached me later this year and asked, hey, can we represent and do a fundraiser for your canine unit? We understand that you guys are about to purchase a new dog, and we would like to do something special for your unit as an appreciation of coming out and helping our church community. Mr. Babb's foundation, Beyond a Hero, stands behind their first responders, military members, and veterans to provide a positive environment to support them in their time of need. The organization is provided to other fire departments, police departments, military veterans, and other first responder organizations across the Metroplex, and they continue their support of first responders and the military veterans in our communities today. So what we'd like to present to you before you do your presentation, sir, is we have a plaque of our appreciation, and we would like you to know the plaque reads, "An appreciation of your support, the Haltom City Police Department K-9 Unit." And once again, we see it very important to recognize the individuals that are coming forth and helping us. And Brandon, I would also like to present you a challenge coin from Chief Phillips for your support and everything you've done for us. So thank you. So this evening, Mr. Babb has a presentation he would like for everybody to see, and we would like to do it publicly if that is okay.
So as he said, my job is pretty much the founder and CEO of Beyond a Hero. We do events like this all the time. Last year we did a Christmas toy fundraiser for the Northwestern Hills PD. They did it for the battered and abused children. We donated almost $1,000 worth of toys, bikes, coloring books, and all sorts of stuff. We surpassed that goal this year for our Christmas time event that we like to do, and we'd actually like to hand this check, Chief, for $1,650 for the brand new vest. I know it's not everything to cover it, but we got you so much closer to your goal. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chief, for a wonderful job you do for the city of Haltom City. Thank you one more time.
Just remember that, not hire him back.
Yes, yes, sir. Okay, at this moment we go to regular agenda. The item number 1, minutes on the meeting on November 25th, 2019. Council, you have any question? Are you ready for motion, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes from November 25th, 2019 as written.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Thompson. Council Sol.
That would be for a second. Thank you.
Okay, we got a second. Now, please register your vote. They have no TV. Go ahead, raise your hand.
All in favor?
Baby? Yeah? Okay, unanimous. Approve. Thank you. Second item will be TAD board and director election. Ms. Camacho.
Yes, Mayor, as previously in the We've had a nomination. If you look on your cover sheet, there's all these people that were listed. The city has 18 votes that it can cast for a single nominee, or you can split the votes among the nominees, however you want to do. And whenever, as a result of this resolution, we'll be emailing it in the morning to the TAD Appraisal District. So it would just be, on the resolution itself, it lists the names Richard Diott, Mike Lehman, John Molyneux, Mike O'Donnell, Joe Potoff, John Fagan, Michael Glaspie, Gary Lasada, and Catherine Willimon.
Thank you, Ms. Camacho and Ms. Watercrow.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion that all 18 votes from Haltom City go to Mr. Gary Lasada, since he's the only individual that is graced his presence in this council on 2 occasions. So,
Thank you, sir. And Council Thompson.
Mayor, that would be for approval or second.
Okay,
Thank
we
you.
got second. You don't have any question or comment? Go ahead, register your vote. Raise your hand. And do we use them now? Yes, go ahead. No, you can register now.
You can vote now.
Yes. Item number 2, unanimous approve. Thank you so much. Now we go number 3. Go bond ordinance number 0-2019-029-01. Mr. Faust.
I'm actually going to turn this over to Andrew Friedman from Samco, who works with Mark McCliney. Back on October 14th, 2019, Mark came and expressed to you guys about getting approval to refund the 2010 revenue bond. And so I'm going to let Andrew tell you about the bids we received today regarding that. All I would ask is whenever you adopt the ordinance, to please include in that ordinance awarding the bid to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andrew Friedman with Samco Capital Markets. Have the privilege of serving as your financial advisor, or one of them. As Sadana mentioned, we received bids earlier today on a refunding of the city's 2010 certificates of obligation. And I think you already have this sheet in front of you, the bid results. We received 8 bids. The best bid came from Frost Bank, their location here in Fort Worth, at 1.98%. And based on that best bid, we're able to lock in with your approval tonight savings of $204,602. We'll recognize that savings roughly between $18,000 and $22,000 per year for the next 10 years. And that's $204,602 net of all the costs of issuance. That is what will flow to the city if you approve the ordinance this evening. I'm happy to answer any and all questions that you have. With your approval tonight, we will close this transaction on January 8th. There's really, we won't recognize anything other than when you get your semi-annual bills on your debt service, they will be roughly $20,000 a year less than they currently are now. There's no downside to doing this. The bonds that we're calling in are set to, they're callable beginning February 1st, 2020. There's really, it's a matter of taking the bird in the hand, so to speak. Interest rates are lower now than they were in 2010, and potentially they're lower now than they will be into 2020.
Yeah, Council Waterrow.
yes, sir. Just want to confirm that we're not extending the loans.
Absolutely not. We're the original 2010 certificates are set to expire, or they're set to mature in 2030. These new bonds will mature in 2030 as well, and they're all at fixed rates. They will not change over the life of the loan.
Thank you, sir.
Any more comment from council or question? I see none. This item ready for a motion, and make sure this is the first and the only reading.
Mayor, do we get to speak on that?
Okay, go ahead, sir. Yeah. Come up here, please, sir. State your name. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Charlie Roberts. Just for clarification, is this basically just refinancing existing loans but not taking out any new ones?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any more question from public? Thank you. Ms. Council Watergrove.
I stepped out for a minute, so I did not hear your preamble about making the motion, but I'm going to make a motion that we approve ordinance Oscar-2019 029-01 and accept Frost Bank's bid for the new GO bonds.
Thank you, sir, and Council Thompson.
Mayor, that would be for a second.
We got a second. Please register your vote. Item number 3 passed with unanimous vote. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you all very much.
Yes. Item number 4, Ms. Batchelor.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Mayor and Council, and I'd like to do the bundle on the preliminary and final, so we can get through the agenda items. This is the preliminary and final for our new BISD elementary school. It'll be combining Major Cheney Elementary in Haltom City and Richland Hills Elementary in Richland Hills. The building will actually be situated on property that's in Haltom City, but it fronts a Richland Hills school, so it is a combined effort between the two cities. It sits on 16.149 acres. On November 26th of 2019, P&Z recommended unanimous approval. Legal notice regarding the public hearing was published in the November 9th Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Notification was mailed to all property owners within 200 feet on November 14th. There were 4 property owners notified, with 1 in favor, none opposed, none returned to sender. If we can look at the screen up here. This is the property right off of Baker Boulevard. This street here is Dreben, which again is a Richland Hill street. This is the final plat. Facing southeast and southwest from Dreben. Facing west and east from Dreben. Facing northwest and northeast. If you have any questions, I'm available. And Philip Varghese is here on behalf of Burville Independent School District.
Okay, Council Watergrove.
And, when you mailed out those notices, did you also send notices to the residents of
Only Haltom
Richland?
City, we don't have access to the Richland Hills information.
Okay, I was just curious. 'Cause
But we did have our rezone sign there and everything.
Okay, because I know in previous zoning changes or on Elliott Reader, we have Fort Worth that borders, and some of the residents there
Right.
came in. Okay, just check.
Any more questions from council? I see none, so at this time I open the public hearing at 7:33. Anyone in audience would like to speak against this item? Or favor? I see none, so I go ahead, Chloe. Public hearing at 7:33 and half. So, this item ready for a motion, and okay, we got Council Watergrove.
Now, can we do this, because she presented as two, so we have to do one at a time?
Yeah, I think for
Okay.
record-keeping purposes, is if you vote on
Okay.
the preliminary plat first and the
That's
final
why I'm
plat.
asking. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve preliminary plat Papa dash 02219 for, looks like Birdville Independent School District. Again, abstract 3,000 or 30. So,
Thank you, sir. And Council Thompson.
Mayor, that would be for a second.
We got a second. Right now, please register your vote. Ms. Thompson, okay. Item number 4, unanimous approved by all council. Thank you. Item number 5, final plot, P.023.19. Okay, Mr. Watercrow.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve
No.
final plat Papa dash 023-19 for Birdville Independent School District for a final plat for abstract 30, track 2A07 of the George Acres Survey.
Thank you, sir. Council Van Zant.
Thank you. That's for a second.
Okay, we got a second. Please register your vote. Item number 5, unanimous approved. And now we have item number 6, PW Public Work Employee Edition. And Mr. Buckets, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Your name is not hard like Mr. Smith, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Good evening. Tonight I'm here to talk to you about an additional position for the Public Works Department. You know, annually we have an independent auditor come in and audit the city's expenditures and their revenue to make sure that we're in compliance with generally accepted accounting principles. So this year when they came, they met with the employees in the Water and Sanitary Sewer Division, and the way that they operate currently is that they use the supplies, and then once the supplies get low, they order additional supplies. The auditors felt like there needed to be a tighter control on the supplies that are used within that division, and suggested that they have an inventory person to do that. So the Public Works Department uses a system to track work orders and things like that, that also has a component that can do inventory management. So what they're requesting is the addition of a position for an inventory technician that would work in the Water and Sanitary Sewer Division. They'd also help out with the Construction Division because they use a lot of the same supplies. And currently in the Street Division, they are maintaining the inventory for signs on an Excel spreadsheet. So at some point, that would all be encompassed in the cartograph. And then I have Sadana here to talk about money and Greg to talk about Public Works. Do you have any questions?
That's what my question is, money. Okay, go ahead.
We do have a contingency fund or line item within this fund, so we believe that that should be able to take care of the request of this position. If needed, we could always bring to you closer to the end of our fiscal year a budget amendment if needed. At this point, I don't feel that will be needed, but again, we'd like to wait till the end of the fiscal year before that occurs.
That's mean we have no problem about money, right? In this budget.
That's correct. Not in that fund.
Okay. Council, you have any question for her? I see none. You're lucky. Nobody pick on you. Thank you. Okay. I believe this item ready for a motion, Council. Oh, Mary Ann Hillier, Council.
I do have a question first.
This is a question. Okay.
Would this person also be the one to create the work orders? Anybody needing a work order would go through them as well, or only for inventory?
Typically, the way the system works for generating a work order, let's say you called our dispatcher because you suspected a water main break in front of your house. So that's actually when the work order gets created. So sometimes a work order is as simple as we go out there to leak on our side of your meter and we fix it. Didn't require any material. Other cases, yes, it's a full-blown water main break. So at that point, the Water and Sewer Division would have to go to the inventory control specialist, get the appropriate parts that they need, go out on site, and as they're putting in those parts, they're actually, after the job's done, they're filling out the work order that was initially generated, and then the work order is complete, and it'll show that X amount of material was used at Y address for whatever 6-inch water main, 8-inch water main, just as an example. So you'd have a tracking system of how many parts we used and where we used them in the city, which is very similar to what we're doing as Ms. Beckett mentioned the signs, where right now we have all of our signs in an Excel spreadsheet where they're located, whether it's a stop sign and the type of pole, and we're slowly also transferring that to the cartograph system. I think most of you are aware that's what we use as our work order system. It does have a module to keep track of inventory, and like I said, the sign shop is slowly transferring all their data into that, and our database administrators just now setting up the inventory database in that same module for the water and sewer parts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Council Susan, so you have a question or the motion? Okay, anyone have a question? Ms. Van Zandt, go ahead, ma'am.
I just want to clarify that this is not because there's any misuse or improper use. What this is just for tighter controls and more defined inventory. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's correct. There's no thought at this point that there's any theft or people stealing the stuff down there, the supplies and things.
Yes, okay. And will this be someone that we're hiring from within? Do you already have somebody in mind, or is this open?
We've looked internally. Certainly, if there's a current employee that is interested in applying for that position, they could, but we'll advertise it to the outside. I think that from a public works standpoint, they're probably going to want somebody that has a little bit of experience doing inventory management. So, but if there is somebody inside, certainly we would look to promote them into that position.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe Ms. Council Susan Saul, go ahead, make a motion, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to approve Public Works employee addition for an addition of an inventory technician to the Water and Sanitary Sewer Division of Public Works.
Thank you. And Council Thompson.
Mayor, that would be for a second.
Thank you, ma'am. And this item ready for, Drescher, your vote, please. Item number 6 unanimously passed. Thank you. And we have no city staff report. No. And now future agenda. Council, you have anything to put on future agenda request? No?
Mayor, I'd like to,
Okay, go ahead.
Marion Hillard had asked about a code enforcement ordinance and a street maintenance program. We discussed in department head meeting, and January 22nd is a date that we've set tentatively to have a special meeting with the police on the code enforcement, and then Greg will be doing the also bringing the street maintenance program. It's tentatively set for January 22nd next month.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, both of them. I think they
Both
get
in the
both of
same
them.
time? Wow. Maintenance, the pavement
Well,
management is
it's still tentative, so we'll see.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, how about right now we got board, commission, and committees. Resignation of board, commission, and committee member. Anybody resign or anything? We got none. How about appoint and reappoint of the commission and committee? I see none. We already, okay, nobody absent, and executive session, we already done at beginning, so at the time, go ahead, sir. No, come up, sir, please.
I'm not sure we can do it.
Are you
At the,
talking about what agenda?
There's an agenda item, excuse me, Charlie Roberts again. The agenda item for staff reports, you said there's nothing. Can we address something that was done on the last? 'cause
Yeah,
staff
go ahead.
Okay.
What?
I'd just like some clarification. I don't want to say that bad word, but the previous water billing people who took care of that stuff for us, who are no longer taking care of that stuff for us, as I understand that system, the meters were not being read manually, but being read by a satellite system with a program, correct?
It's using a cell network.
A cell network?
Yep.
Okay. So that cell network, when it was initiated, that was part of that whole contract, that was their software,
Yep.
their program. I understand that Haltom City is now billing, but are we also collecting that data? Did we get that program ourselves, or are we paying a
My
third party
understanding is
still for
a
that
third
data?
party is going to take up that. So instead of having one person to choke, now we have multiple companies to choke. So that's what has happened.
So we still are not collecting the data, we're just doing the
No,
billing?
we're contracting to a third party
Okay.
to collect that data, and they're going to transfer that data, and then we're going to go to another party to do the billing.
Okay.
So you guys got your wish that company's gone, the company that shall not be named, but now you got multiple companies that you got to deal with. That's the reality.
Right.
Okay, so there you go.
Cool. What is the name of those other companies? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I've been talking to city staff about this, but we can get those companies for you, or you can do a FOIA request to get those companies for you.
I'd need a name so I can get the information request. So you're paying somebody, you don't know who they are?
Sedona.
No, I don't know who they are, but
Of
our
course, we
staff
know who
knows.
they are. We sign contracts with
Yeah.
them.
Exactly.
So Sedona can address it.
Yeah.
I'll get that.
For the
What would
companies
you
that are,
like it, how would you like it to be worded?
I can talk to you after.
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
okay.
You have anything to add on, Mr. Farrell, or no?
Well, I just we are still handling the billing just like we did before. But there's obviously software companies and things like that that we contract with. For example, when we take credit card payments, we have to make sure those are secure. You can't just take credit card payments without having a company that helps you process those things. So that's the kind of stuff. But we'll be more than happy to give that information and anybody that's interested in
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. At this time,
Okay, Mr. Mayor,
you
I have
go
a
ahead.
thing.
What do you want?
After we
Okay.
reconvene
ahead,
from
sir.
executive session, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the bid for the 1.89 acre tract described as George Acre Survey Abstract 30 Track 2D, and accept the bid from Stream Realty.
Thank you, sir. And Councilor Thompson?
Oh, and I'd like to make an amendment to my motion that pending our attorney's approval.
Accepted. Thank you. And Councilor Thompson?
That would be for second.
We got second. Please show your vote. This item unanimous approved, and thank you everyone. And I believe at this time I can adjourn the meeting at 7:47. Thank you.